Hello everybody, how's everyone doing out there? Hopefully Hello everybody, how's everyone hear me? And now you should be able to see me. Hi. How's everyone doing out there in TV land? I'll have to do that because if I go minimum, then I can see me talking, whereas I can't. I'm the screen on YouTube. I'm on delay, but if I look at my OBS, I'm live, so I know what's going on. But hello, thought I'd do a quick live before I do some recording. I'll stay until about 8 o'clock UK time. And hello everybody, come and say hello in the chat. I can see the chat, so come and say hello and make sure you can hear me, because I've not got my headphones on, so I don't know if I can hear myself. I don't need to hear myself. I can hear me. Yeah, I can hear myself, but I don't really need to. Thank you very much, Memory Sponge. Thank you very much. I do try. A lot of it is taken from other people, but some of it needs to be shown, especially the Memphis stuff. I think needs to be shown, and it gets some good views and everything. But yes, hello from sunny old England. 7:20 in the afternoon. Here it is in jolly old England. But yes, like I said, I'm going to be on until about 8 o'clock. Then I'll record. I've got a podcast. I'm going to be doing. I'm a few weeks ahead of myself, so I'm recording. Be the second week in June, whatever date that is. It'll be the 11th of August, 1984 edition of Memphis. So that'll be exciting. We'll see what's happening in the world of Memphis. But yeah, everything's good. All the podcasts are doing well. They're up. All 5 are now up. Last time I chatted, I think was the Monday before In Your House came out. Yeah, I think it was. I was on there a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to try and do this on a weekly basis. Yeah, we'll see what it is. But yeah, things are busy and time off, and my wife works. I explained this on the last live I did, but my wife works. She's at work now, so when she's at work, and then I come home from work, I'll have me tea or have me food, and then I'll do a bit of podcasting. So I got Paul. I'm from Kentucky, and I had the privilege as a young child in the 80s to watch CW Memphis Saturdays. It was my favourite wrestler. Yeah, Jerry Lawler up there with he's in definitely my top 10 list. I saw him in his WWF days, but then obviously I've now come back to see him in his Memphis days, and it's you know what you're getting with Jerry. You're going to get an awesome and to get the broadcast back copyright issue, I'm afraid. Sorry, just to go back, Jerry. When you see Jerry Lawler, you're going to get an awesome promo. You're going to get an awesome match. Selling and all that kind of stuff. He's going to put someone over, so it's all good. Yeah, there's a copyright issue. I was on someone's Patreon. I shouldn't have probably really done. I definitely shouldn't have done it, but I thought that it needed to be seen by the masses, not just people paying to see it. So I downloaded it, stuck it to YouTube. The person who sent him the footage found out, wasn't happy, and then he wasn't happy. So yeah, I've had a falling out. It's one of those things. But I just felt that kind of rare footage that no one has seen in 51 years needed to be seen by people just not behind a pay window. If you know what I mean. I know it's wrong on my point, but that's what I just felt that. And, it may have backfired on all parties, but it's just one of those things. Yeah, Randy Savage, he's been about on the Memphis. That's not your fault, buddy. It's mine. It's just one of those things. I don't see why old wrestling like that should be jeopardised. It should be monopolised, I think is the word. You can get footage of WWF from most places, old stuff. There's very few guys out there who have got like a massive library of WWF stuff that isn't on the network. They've got all the Coliseum video. They've got everything. I know there's a couple of guys out there who have got everything, and they monetize that. And to me, that's fine because it's WWF. Everybody's seen WWF. A lot of people have probably seen, World Tour 91 or Super Tape 4 or, and with the network, you can watch every Monday Night Raw, every pay-per-view, all that kind of stuff. But with classic, old-school independent wrestling, territorial wrestling, I feel that shouldn't be necessarily monetarized or monopolized, I should say. It happened, and I shouldn't have probably done it. They shouldn't have gone over the top and stopped. The guy who I got it from, he's been sort of stopped by the guy that he got it from, so that stuff will never come to light again. So I've sort of ruined it for everybody, but it's good that a lot of people saw it when it was online, because it needed to be it needs to be seen, because who else has got 1973 fucking stuff? I'd imagine maybe the only person would maybe be Corny. He may be one of the only people with that kind of, footage, and his stuff is sort of locked in a loft somewhere, and probably something will happen to it when the sad time comes that he passes away. But anyhow, it's all good. We're covering Memphis every Saturday. We're covering WCW Saturday Night, January to July 1996. Every Monday we're covering WWF Summertime 1978 every other Monday. We're doing In Your Houses, the monthly In Your Houses, but we're doing them on a weekly basis for the next few weeks. Excuse me. Pure Wrestling Passion we do every month, just an hour of watching some classic Japanese wrestling. And then I also appear on the North-South Connection. They have a 3 monthly show called Chronoso. They go through. They're currently in. They've just covered SummerSlam 1989. There's about 16 of us that will watch a couple of matches or a segment from a television, from either Superstars, Primetime, Challenge, or a house show of some sort. I'm on it in a couple of weeks. What am I covering? Covering some matches from the Survivor Series Showdown event from 1989. I'm covering Demolition Smash versus Ted DiBiase and Big Boss Man versus Tito Santana. I think that'll be available on Chronoso through the North-South Connection. Again, available on all podcast suppliers. This weekend over here in jolly old England, we had the end of the Premier League. That finished Sunday. Manchester City won. It's gone down to the wire, gone down to the last day. Arsenal needed to win and Manchester City needed to lose for it to be Arsenal winning the title, but unfortunately Man City are just a different beast. They sort of had didn't really have a slump, but they had like a bit of an itchy period in December, and then come January they've just kicked it into another gear and shown why they are one of the world's greatest football teams, soccer teams if you're in the States. And they've won the title now 4 years in a row, which has never happened in 136 years of top league football. And then just today, a couple of hours ago today, we had our Prime Minister declare that July the 4th is going to be our general election. There's going to be a big vote, and we're going to see who the government's going to be come July the 5th. It could be still the Conservatives, who have been in power now for 14 years. Or it could be the Labour government, who haven't been in power. Were they last in power 14 years ago? I can't remember. I can't remember. But they haven't been in power for quite a while. And we've got the Lib Dem Party, which don't do very well at all. We've got the Green Party. We've got and some other parties, like independent parties and stuff like that. But yeah, that's sort of happening today and this weekend. Been a bit of a shite weather day. Woke up, it started raining about 10 o'clock last night. Didn't stop till about 11 o'clock this morning. And then came up again about 4 o'clock. Absolutely fucking pissed it down. It was raining, definitely was raining cats and dogs. I've got a spot on my yeah, so yeah. There's no one watching it at the minute, is there now? But that's happening. I think WWF are going back to Saudi Arabia this Saturday, the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring finals. They obviously had the boxing there this weekend. Weekend just gone. Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Usyk won. Did he win? Yeah, Usyk won. Yeah, by points I think at the end. So that happened, and then WWF are going back for their. Is this the second time this year? Have they been there? They were already this year? No, they went to Australia and France. I don't think they've been to Saudi Arabia yet. I'd imagine they'll probably go back. They usually go back in October, don't they? They usually do a couple of shows for the blood money. Excuse me. Just opening up a can of Diet Coke. T-shirt wearing OVP, our Vantage Point, Joe and Quinn, repping the boys, our Vantage Point. Fine podcast by a fine couple of New Jersey boys. Podcast I listen to are our Vantage Point, where they talk. They're currently in October of 1986. They've done well over 300 shows. Check them out in your podcast supplier. They've also got. I also listen to Booking the Territory. Mike Miles and the boys. They're covering November of 1992 WCW Saturday Night. They started all the way back in 1985, 1986, something like that. They cover like the Clash of Champions as well. They cover the pay-per-views. They've got a Patreon. I listen to Acid Wash Memories, which is Joe and Quinn from OVP, but they talk about non-wrestling stuff. They talk about Taco Bell. They talk about Seinfeld, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Super Mario Brothers, the whole Super Mario sort of franchise. What else have they talked about? The internet, television shows. Just they've 71 episodes I think now they've done out each and every Monday. Every week is just a random topic. So this week they covered Taco Bell. Last week they covered Street Fighter, I think, something like that. Greetings from Allentown, Peter Winson and Keithy Langston, a couple of boys from Massachusetts. They're currently covering the summer of 1989. I think they're a couple of weeks away from SummerSlam 1989. They talk about they talk about the rest. They watch it sort of, and then they talk about it as they're watching it. But they'll talk about Sopranos, baseball, Simpsons, you name it. Peter and Keith talk about it. What else do I listen to? Stick to Wrestling with John McAdam is always a good one to listen to. Between the Sheets is okay. Chris Zell, the host, is I enjoy. The other guy, I'm not going to mention my name. I don't enjoy. He can be very annoying, very childish, and very just argumentative. Tries to get his point over, and he's just he suits Twitter. I don't go on Twitter anymore. I don't really do any social media anymore. I don't do any at all. But he is the epitome of just a Twitter wrestling community. So yeah. Mixtapes with Eric Strangeland. Listen to that. I've appeared on that a couple of months ago. I appeared on that. Yeah, that's always a good listen if you're into sort of music and people that are in the music industry. What else we got? Obviously, Place to Be Wrestling Network with all the great shows. North-South Connection with all the great shows. There's a brand new network that started this week, Backbone Wrestling Network. Some of the best shows from some of the best shows from Place to Be, and some of the best shows from North-South Connection are on their own little network, as well as some new shows coming up. So, yes, hello everybody, hello watching. Slammed at work, but just wanted to hop in and say it's fascinating you cover. Thank you very much, Rice Cooker. Yes, I know, last time I was on here, a lot of people were saying how they enjoyed the show, and it's very weird hearing a Brit covering Memphis. Obviously, I am British, born and bred, 37 years old, 38 in August. Been a wrestling fan since 1990, obviously WWF before, but then you come into the internet age, sort of 97, 98. and you can find out who's Jerry Lawler. Oh, Memphis. Oh, Memphis. Oh, Terry Funk. You go down loopholes. Terry Funk was in Memphis. Watched ECW, obviously, which then led me on to like deathmatch wrestling in Japan, IWA Japan, all that kind of stuff. And then you go, such and such, Coco Beware. You're watching Coco Beware from the early 90s. You go, Coco, fuck no, Coco was in Memphis. And then you start looking, you go down rabbit holes. And then, obviously, difficult to find footage. Still is now. There's at least 3 people I know who own the footage, that being Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Lawler, and like the estate of Corey Macklin, who took over from Lance in like the early 90s on USWA. He passed away, unfortunately, good lord, 14 odd years ago, I think now. Corey died in a automobile accident, and I believe his family have a lot of that footage, so the footage is very sparse on YouTube. Some guys have it on Google Drives and stuff, but yeah, I think that's the whole reason why it's probably not on WWE Network, Peacock, whatever you want to call it. I think there's because there's, I think the Jarrett family have some, the Lawler family have some, the Macklin family probably have the USWA tapes. I know Randy Hales, he's got some, because he used to run Power Pro Wrestling, which came after USWA. Randy, great guy, still, he does his own podcast. Like he does it on Twitter, Talking Memphis with Randy Hales. He also has Michael St. John and Pat Trimmel. Michael St. John worked for the USWA, late 80s, early 90s. He's now, I think he's like a radio host or something, does like sports in somewhere. Obviously, all those guys are in their 60s, middle to late 60s. But Randy's a cool guy. Spoken to him before, explained when I first started doing this 3 or 4 years ago. I explained to him what I was doing, and he was more than happy for me to do it. Obviously, if you listen to the show, if you listen to the intro of the show, you'll hear Jeff Jarrett as well. Really cool. Like, I was looking for someone Memphis orientated to introduce the show. Could never get hold. You found the House of Galoon. Not sure what you're talking about, buddy. Galeen? I'm not sure. Yeah, so tried to get hold of Jerry Lawler, but couldn't. Tried to get hold of Dave Brown, or like on Twitter. I was purely doing this. TJ Khan's manager. No, I haven't got there yet. He's 90s, isn't he? Late 80s. He's sort of the world class kind of era, isn't he? I know of TJ Khan, but I haven't got to him yet. So trying just to get through to people through Twitter, and then obviously Jeff Jarrett does his show with Conrad Thompson, the Podfather. So I messaged Conrad and went, next time you speak to Jeff, can you ask him this? And he was like, here's his email address, email him. Emailed him, explained what I'd wanted doing. He did it, he sent it back. No, it's fine, bud, it's fine. Emailed him back, told him what I wanted, and then that was it. He did it, sent it back, and I was like, fuck, I've just dealt with Jeff Jarrett. He was more than happy to help. No money was fucking exchanged. Just like, wow, why can't everybody be like this? Because I know a lot of people, you ask them and you go, no, I'm not doing that without you fucking sending me $50 or $100 or whatever. And I was just like, I just want 30 seconds of just going, you go in, hi, this is me, I do this, here's this show, listen, 4 fucking segments, 30 seconds, 45 seconds max probably. I don't need to be spending $50 or whatever, 50 quid, if you will. I just want you to go, hello, I'm such and such, I do this, I was in this, here's this guy bringing you this show, here's the show, enjoy. That's it. And that's what Jeff has done. If you listen to the show, you will hear Jeff did that. And I just wanted someone, same as on my other shows, Hamburg All Stars doesn't have an intro, which is a pain, but I would like one. But like Monday Night Project, I was originally covering WWF from Monday Night Raw from June '93. Obviously, you can't really get in contact with anyone from WWF because the people who were involved in like the original bit of Raw are either dead, or it's Vince, or it's JR. Not JR, but like Gorilla's dead. Bobby, anyone that you could think. And I was like, Rob Bartlett. Like, I knew Rob Bartlett was on Twitter, and I was just like, hey Rob, any chance you could do this? And he was like, yep, what do you want me to say? Told him what I wanted to say. Boom. If you hear the beginning of Monday Night Project, Rob Bartlett, that is Rob Bartlett. Obviously the Gorilla and the Mean Gene are AI, not done from me. That's done from Joe Murata over on OVP, because he is the master of like wrestling voices on AI. But I just want someone who's affiliated with the product to, just be on the, because I'm never going to be as big as Corny, never going to be as big as Conrad, because of what I'm a niche in a niche. Like, wrestling podcasts are a niche. If you think of podcasts as a whole, wrestling's probably like their kind of thing, and then most of them are modern, or if they're old WWF, they're old WCW, they're old ECW, they're old NWA at a push. There's very few that I know of old territory podcasts. People cover it in between the sheets. They'll cover old territories, but just in a of what's happening in the Wrestling Observer. They won't go. They don't go into detail. And then if there is, World Class has been done to death. Mid-South has been done to death. No, this is no disrespect to anyone out there who enjoys those podcasts or who has those podcasts. They are great podcasts. But like Mid-South, World Class has been done to death. But like, no one covers Portland, I don't think. I'm going to say these and don't think. No one covers Portland. No one covers Florida. No one covers Mid-Atlantic. I know Mike Sempervini did, but that sort of stopped. No one covers Kansas. No one covers Calgary, Stampede. No one covers San Francisco. No one covers Memphis. But why not? Why aren't these podcasts being covered? Yes, you won't get the massive numbers that you would if you talked about 1984 WWF. You won't get the massive numbers if you talk about 1996 ECW. You won't get the massive numbers if you talk about 1993 WCW. But there'll be someone out there surely that wants to listen. I would like to hear my style of podcast covering Stampede Wrestling. Again, you struggle with footage, I know that, but you can still probably do it in a way where you cover the week to week. There must be a book out there, something, There's a shitload of championship wrestling from Florida about, so you could probably cover a majority of it. But people just go, oh, world class Mid-Atlantic, world class Mid-South aren't the be all and end all of territorial wrestling. There's, I've just said, there's Memphis, there's Stampede, there's Portland, there's Bob Geigel, there's fucking, it's just, yeah, But I enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy not doing it, which I don't enjoy not doing it. So when I'm like today at work, I was just like, I just want fucking this day to end. I'll go home, have a bit of grub, podcast. Tomorrow, wife's working late, so I'll be podcasting again tomorrow. And then there'll be a few days. She's off over the weekend. I think then there'll be a couple of days next week where I'll be podcasting. And those days I really enjoy. It's the days that I'm not doing it because you worry. Are people listening? Are people enjoying the show? I know you guys sort of comment and everything on here or on the YouTube channel when I post videos. People will comment and go, oh yeah, we're really enjoying the show. But there's very little instant gratitude to go, I love the show or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I get good lists. I think I've been told by Scott, the head honcho of Place to Be, I get between like 800 and 1,000 a week listeners, which is pretty good for someone who does it from their bedroom. This is my bedroom. Computers in the corner. and I enjoy doing it. I struggle sometimes covering the 1978 WWF. If you heard this week's Hamburg All Stars, you will hear that. That was one of the worst things I've ever fucking had to watch. Just matches just dragged on, and the crowd weren't into it. I recorded the other day for a couple of weeks' time, and it was a really enjoyable fucking show. The Memphisers never disappoint, never ever disappoint. I never ever sit there for an hour going, God, I wish this would end. Like, the minute fucking Lance is there, you're just like, right, I'm fucking pepped up for this. Because I've never seen it. I kind of know bits and pieces. Like, I know we're in the summer of 84. I don't know much about the summer of 84, but I know going into like 1985, Jimmy Hart leaves and people come and go. I kind of know bits and pieces in my mind. Right, this happens. Like when Savage came in, I kind of was aware that I was coming up to the point that Randy Savage would come in. I'm now kind of aware of the point of King Kong Bundy and Rick Rude teaming up. I'm kind of aware of people turning and coming and going. So it's not alien to me, the time frame, but obviously it's a bit foggy. But yeah, we'll stay for another quarter of an hour, and then I'll start recording at 8 o'clock. Like I said, I'm covering the 11th of August 1984, ready for a couple of weeks' time. I'm not that far ahead anymore. I will try and get a bit more ahead. But yeah, it's all good. Come and say hello if you're out there. I know, again, I said this last time, because I know a lot of you in the States you're in your daytime, you're kind of at work. Yes, definitely Lance Russell with them, but Lance Russell is up there with everybody's favourite commentators / TV hosts. Yeah, just he seemed like a really nice man. I've kind of had a few interactions with Shane, his son, on Twitter. He seemed nice. Yeah, Dave Brown, obviously still alive. I think he's still a weatherman down there in Memphis. He's occasionally on AEW, I think, when they go to Memphis, and they celebrate Memphis. What the fuck? But yeah, I'm just saying, can't remember. Yeah, but if you had, like I said, yeah, sorry. Like I know your ideal time would probably be if I did this at 10 o'clock at night my time, but unfortunately I can't do that. So that's why I do this sort of this kind of time of the day. And there's a few guys out there. There's a few of you out there that will come and say hello. But yes, it's all good, really. Not much else to report, I don't think. Wrestling wise, like modern wrestling, I don't really. I know what's happening in the WWE. Kind of know what's happening in AEW, but that's just a massive pile of shite. But yeah, my main interest in wrestling is old school wrestling now. Up until mid 2000s probably. Yeah, sort of 2004, 2003-ish on the WWF, I think. The rest of it's okay, but then it just turns a bit samey and just a bit silly and just, But gone are the days of Gordon Soley and Lance Russell and Bob Caudle and all those guys welcoming us on a Saturday afternoon and Saturday morning. And luckily, one good thing about YouTube is you can watch all that kind of stuff sort of pretty freely. People have got sort of channels dedicated to. There's a Wrestle Reel. There's a one Retro Wrestling Network. I'm going to have a quick. I don't know because I'm on YouTube, so I don't know if I can look at YouTube on my phone while I'm doing this. Something could go horribly wrong. No, we're okay. Subscriptions. There is a great one called the Retro Wrestling Network. They have been posting stuff from 1985 Memphis. They've been showing sort of Montreal, 1984, 1983 Memphis, Georgia Championship Wrestling from 83, from 80. Some sort of random stuff from like a lot of the Memphis stuff I've got on my channel, but these guys have got it as well. They've got like Harley Race versus King Kong Bundy from 1982 World Class, Terry Gordy versus Iceman King Parsons from 1988 World Class, Eric Embry versus P.Y. Chuhai. They've got some great stuff, but they're definitely worth a follow. The Retro Wrestling Network, and there's also, like I said, Wrestle Reel. He'll put out shows. So today he's put out a show from May the 22nd, 1982, Georgia Championship Wrestling. 2 days ago he put out a show from the 19th of May, 1990, USWA Championship Sports. He also put a show out from World Class Championship Wrestling from the 19th of May, WWF Wrestling Challenge from the 19th of May. So he does that. So on that day, so tomorrow he'll put a show out from the 23rd of May in history from a promotion. Usually WCW, WWF, Georgia, World Class, sort of the same promotions but different time periods or whatever. So that's always a good watch. And then obviously you can go on YouTube and search probably Mid-South, well, probably not Mid-South because it's probably all on the WWF network, but you can search that later. You could go Memphis, USWA 1992, and there's probably a channel out there where you can watch a lot of 1992 USWA if you're into that kind of thing. And my plan is, I know I'm still covering 1984. 1985 is going to be a bit hit and miss. 1986 I think is the whole year, but my plan is just to carry on. I would like to get to the USWA days. I know that will be, in reality, probably 2030, but as long as people are still, as long as podcasts are still a thing in 6 years' time, as long as I'm still got the interest to do it, I'll carry on doing it. I'll be 45. But, will I be 45? I don't know. Maths. But yeah, as long as people still enjoyed listening and doing, and I'll still, as long as there's an audience for what I cover in the podcast, I'll still do it. So I'm sure there's a lot with most guys who do it. As long as there's still an audience, as long as there's still a want, as long as podcasts are still a thing. I don't think they will be. I think they'll be AI dominated, and I think we'd have gone on to something else. Excuse me, what that is, I don't know, but I'm sure there'll be a. We used to do vlogs, we used to do blogs, we used to do videos of stuff. Now it's podcasts. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure in a few years' time there'll be something that will overtake podcasts, and there'll be the day, people say, "Oh, I remember listening to, Conrad Thompson," and same as a lot of people now will remember listening to such and such on the radio. You remember listening to guys out there. You probably remember listening to Howard Stern or whoever the top radio guy was, and now you're listening to me on a podcast or whatever. And for me, I remember listening to fucking Mark and Lard on BBC Radio 1, and now radio is very different beast. A lot of people don't listen to Radio 1 anymore. We've got a channel out here called Greatest Hits Radio. They have thank you very much, and you, Trader Jack. You, some of your stuff is absolutely fucking killer. I will be using you for, I think, 1985, 1980. You're going to be my lifeline, Trader Jack. After 1984, come the end of November. I think I've worked it out. The 1984 finishes around about the end of November. You, Trader Jack, you sir, are going to be my lifeline. But yeah, we've got a radio station called Greatest Hits Radio. It's a commercial radio station, and their listening figures came out the other day, and they have over 7 million viewers. Obviously, I'll plug all your stuff, buddy. I'll put links, because in my podcast I link my video from my YouTube channel to the podcast, but I will do that for you. So come November, I don't know how many people listen to the podcast and watch the video. I don't know I don't know those numbers. But come November, I will start linking your stuff in my podcast, so you may start getting extra traffic towards the end of the year. But again, I get my videos can get like 200 or 300 watches, but I don't know if that's people subscribe to this channel or if that's also people who listen. So, but like I said, you may start getting extra traffic come end of November, and thank you very much in advance. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know what sort of the radio situation is over in the States. I don't know if you have sort of major stations like a Radio 1 or a Radio 2 that don't play commercials, or if it's all commercial radio out there. I've got no idea about sort of the radio situation. Your TV situation confuses me really lots anyway. And also the way you pronounce Graham. I found out yesterday that graham crackers are actually Graham crackers. For years, I thought they were called graham crackers. G-R-A-M. Graham, as in 2 grams, 1 ounce, whatever. I was watching Delicious Miss B yesterday on the Food Network with Cartier B. She's a southern cook, cooks some stuff. And she was using graham crackers. Wife asks me, do we have graham crackers in this country? Googled it, as in Graham, G-R-A-M. No, it's Graham, G-R-A-H-A-M. That is a name here in our country, Graham. You get someone called Graham. It's made from graham flour, not gram flour, because gram flour is something completely different. I used to work in a food factory. Gram flour is like a yellowy kind of flour. It's not called graham flour. So like Americans can't pronounce Craig properly. You call them Crag, or Craig de George, but it's spelled C-R-A-I-G, Craig. I don't mean to have a go at you guys. I love Americans, but some of your ways of like doing things are really fucking weird. But then again, this comes from a man who lives in a country where we put mushy peas in a can. We get some peas, we mush them, we put them in a can, and they're fucking delicious. We also have them with fucking fish and chips. That's a joke out there for all the OVP fans if you're listening. Fish and chips. But yeah, you're weird, we're weird. Together, we're like cousins. Which kind of we are. So, yeah. There's 4 of you watching. Hello. Oh, no, 3. I'll just put everyone our way. Come and say hello, everybody. I'm going to be going in a bit, because I'm going to be recording a show. Oh, God, what have I done? But yeah, obviously, then you can watch this later if you're not here. But I'll try and do this again next week. I'm busy Saturday. She's working Saturday, but I'm busy. Yeah, I might try and do this one day next week. But yeah, it's been delightful, as always, to say hello to people. Hope, like I said, you all seem to be enjoying the content and the channel, which is great. 1,900 subscribers now, which is great. Unfortunately, can't monetize the channel because everything's like not mine. It's not original. It's all downloaded from Google Drives and stuff, and it's all kind of not monetizable. So, which is a shame. Nice to get a few quid for people watching. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to say. Just take it easy, enjoy yourselves. We've got a bank holiday Monday coming up here again in the United Kingdom. That'll be our last one until August. We have like 4 or 5 in like a 3-month span, and then we'll have none in like a 3-month span, and then we'll have none. So we have got this one coming up Monday. We then don't have one again till the end of August. We then don't have one till like Christmas time, because we like Boxing Day is like a bank holiday. I know you guys have Thanksgiving. I think you have like time off work, I guess, over in the States. I don't think you quite have bank holidays like we do, or you maybe call them something else. We call them, I can't remember what they're called, bank holidays, because of the banks being shut or something. I can't remember. But yeah, we have 2 in May. We have like Easter, August. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, thank you very much, everybody. I shall love you and leave you now. Like I said, I'll get everything ready and then I'll start recording podcast. But yes, it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. And we're now buffering. Hopefully everything is still going okay. Still buffering. Hopefully you'll be able to see me. Cheers, buddy, and you. It's evening now. Now we're coming up to 8 o'clock tonight. But yeah, have a great day, rice cooker. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And we shall see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'll probably on again maybe one day next week, or if not the week after. But I'm going to try and do this at least sort of regularly. I did one last Monday. I think it was last Monday. But yeah, I'm going to try and do it regularly. Just to come and say hello for sort of half an hour, 45 minutes. If we get chatting, maybe, extend it. But yes, so thank you very much. And please enjoy the podcasts. Don't forget every Saturday on all good podcast supplies through the Place to Be Wrestling Network. Every Saturday, the Memphis Continental Wrestling Cast. Every Monday, or every other Monday, is Hamburg All Stars. Every other Monday is Monday Night Project. Every Tuesday, In Your House. Once a month, Pure Wrestling Passion. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your days, evenings, mornings, and we shall see you very soon from jolly old England.